My name is Maurice Velasquez,
And I'm John Shirt,
and this is Winning in the Workplace.
powered by Team Real World. Welcome back to the Management Excellence Program. The most difficult challenge we all face right now in the workplace is that of employee disengagement. But what is employee disengagement? Employee disengagement is when an employee, for whatever reason, emotionally disconnects from their work and daily tasks. It doesn't mean they're playing around or on the internet. It simply means that in terms of intensity, focus, and quality of work, they are not moving things to help the company move forward. But don't think this is just impacting staff members and frontliners. This is impacting everyone in the workplace, from executives to managers to staff members. In this module, we will cover what this looks like, the causes, and how to begin to improve it. So download the workbook, take notes, and enjoy this module. Here's Maurice.
This is the biggest problem affecting everybody in the workplace, and it's been going on now for several decades. Unfortunately, it's affecting all of us. Every industry, it doesn't matter whether you're a mom and pop company or you're a Fortune 100 company, we're all very much being affected by it in negative ways. As a matter of fact, a recent quote by a magazine said that we're very much being flooded by employment disengagement. That's how bad it is. Now, how bad is it? Let's take a look at some glaring numbers. Employment disengagement is at an all-time high of 70%. This shows that 70% of American workers who are not engaged or actively disengaged. That's stunning. Not even 3 weeks ago, from the date of when we filmed this module, in Gallup.com, which tracks this on a regular basis, actually on a daily basis, as of 3 weeks ago, the number was 33%. Now, see, that corresponds with that 70%. The 70% was from an article that we published from January of 2014. This number right here is from 3 weeks ago in 2016, all right? So what this means is that 70-30, you could say, well, hey, man, this has gone up 3%. Yeah, it's great in comparison, but for the past 10, 15, 20 years, it's hovered around the same numbers. We can't seem to get out of 35% disengagement. So think about what that means. 30% engagement is less than half a week. It's almost not even 2 days. So basically what these numbers are saying is that your average American employee is only actively engaged in their workplace, or they're actively disengaged by 30%. That's astounding. How does that feel? Well, you know how you walk around sometimes saying, man, it's hard to find good help? Well, that's what's causing this. Folks are very disengaged when it comes to work. And employees, whenever you feel like, man, my manager, what are they up to? Nobody knows what they're doing. You can't find them. You can't get answers from them. We propose things. We've asked them to fix certain things. They don't get back with us. Well, it's this number right here. Managers, what about when you feel the same thing about executives? You feel like you propose things, you talk to them, you can't find them, they're slow to give you answers. Well, it's all this. This level of disengagement is the cause for communication breakdown. Let's take a look at some more numbers, okay? Look at this. This same report that this number here came from, this same article, it shows here that these professionals out in comparison to everybody else are at levels of engagement at these numbers. Notice it's not very high. I mean, at least the managers and the executives and officials in companies are the most engaged, but still this 36% is tremendously low. And now this, again, keep in mind that this is nationwide, and it's been like this for a very, very long time. So what's causing this? Well, this is what we often hear. We just don't have enough company picnics. There's no fun going on around here. Well, look, we're not against picnics, all right? As a matter of fact, we enjoy picnics. Team Real World is very much about building a thriving culture. But picnics in and of themselves are not the cause, and they're not the solution, all right? A lot of people then say, well, just look, it was the Christmas party. Last year, the Christmas party was canceled, and everybody was bummed out. We didn't like the reason they did it because some executive got upset with a manager, and, morale's gone down ever since then. Okay, that may have an impact, but by and large, like I said earlier, picnics and parties and events, they contribute to it, but they're not the primary reason. Here's the one that most people say is the cause of it. We just need to give everybody extra money. If we're getting paid $1.50 more, or hey, look, I know that folks doing my job 3 miles an hour, they're getting paid $2 more. That's the reason. Well, again, this is a contributing factor, but it is not the cause. What about more PTO? That's another way of saying extra money. Again, not the cause. Hey, we need new uniforms, or we need more lunches and more fun. All these things are good. And again, we want to encourage you. These are all very good to have in your culture, but they're not the primary reason. What causes disengagement is this: employees do not feel that their managers or supervisors are listening to them and that their opinions about problems are being seriously considered. Whenever you read journals like Inc. magazine or the Wall Street Journal or business reports about what is causing employees to leave companies, this is at the heart of it. It's another way of saying this: thank you for the Christmas party and thank you for the picnic, but if someone is not going to fix the problems back on Monday morning, well, we're wasting our time, because employees know what the issues are, and they by and large know that managers and executives are equally disengaged as they are, and these problems are mounting up. We're going to cover this in a little more detail. Here's another glaring reality that shows up in report, in journal, in book after book, and it is this: the number one reason why employees leave companies is their immediate supervisor. Is not the company per se. Sure, the owner of the company did something, the HR department did something, but by and large, whenever employees get to the point of saying, you know what, I've had enough of this, it's because it's been mounting over the years, and the relationship that is broken down, if ever it was there to begin with, is the relationship that they have with their supervisors, their immediate supervisors. That's why Team Real World spends so much of its energy, and our unique service and targeted audience is middle managers and supervisors. If we can help middle managers and supervisors become disengaged, meaning as engaged as what we're trying to do, then they're able to solve problems and get everybody more engaged, from the executives down to the frontliners. Why is this the case? How is it that this happens? Again, like we said earlier, the problem is that we're not fixing problems, okay? Employees, think out there as you're watching this video, what are the 5 problems or issues that you and your team members have told your managers about for weeks and months, and they're still there, okay? What about the problems that your department employees have talked to other department employees, and you guys all pretty much know that you guys are aware where the problems are and what needs to be fixed, but hey, no one's listening to us around here. I mean, how much does that happen? Well, if that is happening in your culture, the problem is that problems are not being fixed. All right. So the executives want to see these things fixed, but they need the middle managers to go and discuss these items with the frontliners. But this communication breaks down. Because there's communication breakdown, what happens is there's a lot of problems here at the frontliner level. Everything from Johnny, my peers, not doing the things I'm being told to do and I'm being held accountable, but Johnny's not. Or I was told to do something and somebody got on to me, so you know what, that kind of problem. The kind of problem that clients bring to the table, customer service issues. There's not clarity on what process to follow. We have a drive-through in one part of the city that does things one way. Then us here, we're in another part of the city, we do it differently. We hear about things from the home office or from other departments that, you know, I wasn't aware of and it's impacted me. All sorts of problems, okay? It's called life, okay? All sorts of problems mount up. And if these problems down here are not addressed by the managers, well, all this down here is gonna mount up and create a very disengaged culture. So whenever we think about helping our employees improve their attitude, how to get them more involved, how to get them to work better, what executives and managers need to learn to ask each other is are we listening to their issues, and are we trying to actively find out what the problems are, and are we resolving those issues? Now, there are reasons why we as managers and executives don't like to go deal with these things, because we've already considered that the way that frontliners deal with these things is in a very gossipy way, okay? We basically have already labeled it as being griping and negative. Sometimes we even call it by, you know, vulgar terms, you know. And so we basically just say they're so negative about it. The staff is so negative about it. I mean, who wants all that drama? You know, they don't know any better anyway. If they would just simply come to work with a great attitude, that would just go away. And we tend, as executives and managers, we tend to throw it under the rug and somehow blame them that if they would just fix their attitude, then these things would go away. While in the meantime, the frontliners are basically saying, look, we need help, okay? We need clarity, we need direction, and ultimately, we need attention, okay? And you're sitting there going, my goodness, they need attention. Yes. Employees need regular attention. Why? Because these things are real. And look, even if they're perceived as being real, it is their perception. And if their perception is that these problems are mounting up, we can assure you, managers, that they will make their perception your reality. And it won't take long before the frontliners talk to some of the executives and tell them that, hey, the managers ain't paying attention. And then the managers are going to be in a vice grip of pressure. Well, they should be. Why? Because they should be listening. And they should be assessing which items are indeed high priority, which ones are medium priority, which ones are later priority, and which ones we just need to tell them, guys, it isn't going to happen. But at least the employees would know that they're being listened to. All right, so let's dive this into a little further. All right, so the problem then lies in this, is that when the managers try to go and talk to employees about these issues, then they face certain levels of drama. We call them the layers of drama, and they're very real. Let's say, for example, this light bulb is an issue, okay, a problem, all right? And by the time managers realize, you know what, I better go and listen to them, the first thing they encounter is this layer of drama, okay? There's a lot of upsetness about this, and employees show a lot of drama, okay? It's a reality for them. Why? Well, it's been sitting there for so long, the only thing that gets attention now is drama. Now, the managers need to chisel their way through this drama in a good conversation. We have another module in our library called the 9 Steps on How to Break Through the Layers of Drama. Okay, watch that. It's a fascinating step-by-step on how to do this. But as managers are conversing and having the dialogue with employees about the drama, sooner or later they're going to come across cynicism, all right? And then eventually the other layer of drama, which is frustration. Managers need to realize that because they did not pay attention to the issues over a period of time, then these layers have become very real, and negativity is almost a common expectation with employees. In order to get employees out of that negativity, they have to know that you're willing to listen through these layers of drama, find out what the issues are, and then work for a solution, all right? This is very difficult. If you don't do this, what you're going to create, managers, or you're going to foster, is for this level of disengagement to happen and to continue with employee disengagement throughout your teams. All right, why does this happen? And the reason this happens is because employees feel that after a while, you know what, it's no longer worth talking about these things. So you know what, forget about it. I don't have anything else to say. Oh yeah, I know that you're sending me another employee survey. I know that it's anonymous, but you know, I'm not gonna waste my time, because they feel like, you know what, it's just not gonna happen. So the result is this 33% stays a reality in most organizations. Remember, this is nationwide. Don't assume it's not happening in your workplace, all right? So, what can we say about this? One last thought is this, is that the managers, in order to be able to address this, they need to get themselves out of a trap that often happens in the mind of managers, and it is this, that we're waiting for the executives to fix all this, okay? The executives are the ones that were here before. We don't have much to say about the business decisions. It is the executives that have to fix this. That mentality that managers carry because they're waiting for the executives to act is precisely what causes disengagement, because the executives know that they hired managers to go and improve disengagement. So the mentality, the paradigm shift that managers need to do is get themselves out of this trap, is to realize that we're not, as managers, supposed to be waiting for the executives. What we have to realize is that we as managers, we have to stay in the middle. It's our responsibility to improve engagement, and to do so by listening to the staff, by assessing their feedback, find solutions, fix the problems, and the outcome of this will really be that you create an engaged workplace. And with an engaged workplace, because they know you're fixing problems, your team will be much more excited and much more engaged as to producing the results that you need. This is tough, it is difficult, but you can do it. Practice these skills and these tools with us, and together we can win in the workplace. Thank you for joining us. My name is Maurice with Winning in the Workplace, powered by Team Real World.